The film opens in a bedroom where a woman has recently overdosed. Her young daughter Rose walks in and sees her mother's body lying amidst the chaos. In the present day, the daughter, Rose Cotter, is now a therapist going through her daily routine at work. She attends to a manic patient named Carl, who keeps muttering about people dying and insists that he is going to die. Rose tries to calm him, but Carl remains trapped in his episode. Rose gets a call to meet with a young woman named Laura Weaver. When Rose meets her, Laura is distressed after a recent incident where she witnessed her professor killed himself to death. Ever since that day, Laura says she has been seeing a dark figure that looks like different people. Suddenly, she turns away from Rose and then looks back, starting to panic and lose control. Rose quickly calls for help, but when she turns around again, she sees that Laura has grabbed a sharp piece of a broken vase and is smiling in a creepy way. Before anyone can help, Laura cuts her own throat, leaving Rose completely stunned. Rose talks to two detectives, one of them being her ex-boyfriend Joel, to share what she witnessed during the incident. She also has a conversation with her boss, Dr. Morgan Desai. After that, Rose heads home to her fiancé Trevor and their cat Mustache. Later, they go out for dinner with Rose's sister Holly and her husband Greg. However, Rose is still really shaken up from Laura's incident, and when Holly reminds her about Jackson's upcoming birthday, Rose loses her temper and scolds her sister. The next day, Rose returned to her job and moved forward with that incident. Suddenly, she gets a phone call from Holly and they both say sorry for their fight. Holly reminds Rose to buy a birthday present for Jackson. While they chat, Rose glances out the window and thinks she sees Laura in the distance. As she walks past Carl's room, she notices him with a creepy smile similar to Laura's, and he keeps saying,
"You're going to die."
"You're going to die." Rose screams for help and the orderlies come to hold Carl down. Later, she goes to buy a birthday gift for Jackson and senses some strange at the store, making her feel like Laura is there. Back at home, she can't find her cat Mustache and gets a shock when the security alarm blares. She answers a call from the security company, but it turns out to be a mean spirit that mocks her. Over the weekend, Rose attends Jackson's birthday party. When it's time to open presents, Jackson grabs Rose's gift, which is meant to be a toy train. But when he opens it, everyone is shocked to find Mustache's dead body inside. People start panicking, and Rose tries to tell them she didn't do anything wrong. But she notices one of the other moms has a creepy, evil smile. Scared, Rose backs up and accidentally crashes into a glass table, hurting her arms badly. After that, Rose is taken to the hospital for help. Morgan comes to see her after hearing about what happened and suggests she should take a break from work. When Trevor brings her home, Rose tries to explain what really happened, but he thinks she's losing it and believes she actually killed Mustache, and end up arguing. Rose also has a therapy session with Dr. Madeline Northcott, who has been helping her cope with the sadness from her mom's suicide. Rose starts to dig deeper into the mystery. She listens to the audio from her session with Laura and catches a soft breathing sound in the background. Then she decides to research Laura's professor, Gabriel Munoz, and manages to find his widow, Victoria. Victoria reveals that Gabriel had talked about seeing strange visions that troubled him, just days after he witnessed another woman, Anna Powell, take her own life. When Rose mentions that she's going through similar experiences as Gabriel, Victoria gets upset, thinking Rose is making fun of her pain, and tells her to leave. After that, Rose goes to Joel for assistance with her investigation, even though he's not very eager to help at first. He looks into Anna Powell's case and discovers that she died by gouging out her own eyes. There are also reports that Anna witnessed a man commit suicide, which was caught on security cameras at a gas station. In the footage, the man can be seen with a creepy smile before he impales himself right in front of Anna. When Rose gets home, she discovers that Trevor has called Madeline for a house visit because they are worried about her mental health. Rose gets angry at Trevor, accusing him of caring more about his image than her well-being, which leads her to leave and break up with him. After that, Rose tries to talk to Holly about the birthday situation, but Holly refuses to forgive her and claims that Rose is falling apart just like their mom did. Rose retorts that Holly never tried to help their mother, and that she was the one who took care of her until the very end. As Rose heads back to her car, she thinks she sees Holly coming towards her, but it turns out to be the entity that's been haunting her. Later, Joel calls her and asks her to join him in prison. They both head out to the prison where she meets Robert Talley, the only person who survived the curse. He explains to Rose that the entity feeds off people's trauma and moves on to new victims. All the victims had witnessed a suicide, which made them targets, so Robert ended up killing someone to save himself from the entity. When Rose insists that she can't kill anyone, Robert panics, thinking that Rose has brought the entity with her, and he ends up getting restrained. After that, Rose returns home and tries to talk to Madeline, who appears to be there. However, she quickly realizes it's the entity in disguise when the real Madeline calls her moments later. The entity, still looking like Madeline, grins menacingly and warns Rose that her time is running out.
Almost time, Rose.
Terrified and desperate, Rose drives to her workplace armed with a knife. She heads into the building and confronts Carl, provoking him until he begins to panic. Suddenly, Morgan bursts in and sees Rose stabbing Carl over and over. He screams and looks like he's about to rip his own face off. But it turns out this is just a nightmare Rose is having after she fainted in her car. When Morgan spots her, she quickly drives away, still holding the knife in her car. Rose calls Joel and tells him she needs to isolate herself to prevent the entity from spreading to others. She drives to her childhood home, the place where her mother passed away. As night falls, the entity takes the form of a tall, monstrous version of her mother, with long hair and a constant smile. Rose confronts her mother, expressing her anger about how her illness affected their lives and how she never sought help. The entity continues to follow and mock her until Rose finally sets it on fire and escapes the house as it burns down. Afterward, she goes to Joel's apartment and insists that she has finally gotten rid of it. But Joel warns her that she can never truly escape it, and he gives her a chilling smile. Once again, Rose realizes she was dreaming. She's still back at the house. The entity finds her, rips its own face off, and then forces its way into her mouth by stretching her jaw open. Just as this happens, Joel arrives at the house and sees Rose. He's shocked to find her pouring kerosene over herself. Rose turns around, revealing a twisted, creepy smile, and then lights herself on fire, leaving Joel horrified as he watches. In this way, movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more interesting movie recaps.